And Liberty Mutual customizing your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. And if anyone objects to this marriage, Kevin, no, not today. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Did you know that Febreze Air Effects uses 100% natural propellant? Cheaper aerosols use artificial propellants. That's why Febreze works differently. Plus, it eliminates odors with a water-based formula and no dyes. For freshness you'll enjoy.
Tomorrow on ET, Beyonce's Renaissance Decoded.
Her hidden messages to the Beehive, and the milestone Queen Bee is celebrating now.
Whew, Matt, I'm getting excited. We're less than 24 hours away. I'm getting excited. Look, before we go, we have not seen Selena Gomez and How I Met Your Father star Francia Raisa together in a while, but the two of them reunited to try the viral He's a 10 challenge.
He's a 10, but his breath stinks. And I can't fix that. He's a 10, but he says you can never have a...
Happening now.
We're back in Eagle Pass, the epicenter of the current migrant crisis. And coming up, not only will we put you in the shoes of migrants and what they go through, but also what agents see on a day-to-day basis.
Just a few showers to look at on the radar screen this afternoon, and the newest drought monitor, along with how much rain it would take to pull us out of our drought. See you in a bit.
And from playhouses to glass baby bottles, what parents need to know about hundreds of thousands of children's products that have been recalled. The News at 5 starts right now.
First at 5, the journey across the U.S.-Mexico border, a tough and dangerous trek that oftentimes turns deadly.
And right now, a number of apprehensions remaining at record highs across the Del Rio sector, according to Border Patrol.
Today, Alicia Barrera was part of a group invited to Eagle Pass to get a better idea of the challenges that both migrants and Border Patrol agents are facing every day.
It can be a daunting task. Precision and perfect timing to save lives, a job Border Patrol agents carry out daily. And in today's scenario, a 90-pound dummy was left behind by a smuggler and must be dragged to shore with a 75-foot rope.
There is no safe area along our borders to cross illegally.
But even when they do cross, it can be just as dangerous. This weekend, 20 migrants had to be rescued in the Del Rio sector.
Once we stabilize in there, now we're going to start moving them out.
We carefully make our way on a worn-down trail with clothes of migrants left behind for a scene agents witness almost daily.
We are the ones that find the bodies in the desert burnt beyond recognition. But over 170 people have died in my sector alone, and remember, there are 9 sectors along the southwest border.
But others are able to continue their journey under the radar. However, many times with no means of escape.
Immediately when you walk in, you feel that dense heat hit you.
Outside, it's 88 degrees, but inside this tractor trailer, already over 100 degrees. And in the hottest hours of the day, it can exceed 150. But here's the thing, we're only in here for about 5 minutes. Migrants are in here for hours on end with not enough resources. And if they're able to survive this trek, they could end up with chronic illnesses.
So when we think about the long-term toll and the impacts, it is real, and it's something that we need to pay attention to because it's not getting better.
Over the weekend, more than 2,500 migrants were apprehended by Border Patrol. And just this morning, so you get an even better idea, a family of 4, including a 1-year-old, were rescued from the current of the Rio Grande, and they were abandoned by smugglers overnight. It wasn't until this morning that agents were able to get to them, and that family suffering from hypothermia. Live in Eagle Pass, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Certainly glad we're giving that issue its due. New at 5, weeks after 2 men were found dead on the northeast side, we now know the name of one of the victims. He is 52-year-old Ricky Eugene Island. The medical examiner says he is from Wisconsin. His body was found on July 5th in a parking lot on Perrin Central near Perrin Beidel. Investigators believe he and the second victim, whose name has not been released, were shot in the early morning hours. Their bodies, however, not found till hours later. And at last check, no one's been arrested.
An update on a fatal crash in West Bexar County. The 31-year-old victim has been identified as Nicholas Pimentel. He died Tuesday morning when the SUV he was in, a passenger, and actually crashed into an 18-wheeler on Culebra and Talley roads. San Antonio police say the 17-year-old who was driving turned in front of the big rig. She caused that big rig's trailer to hit the passenger side of the SUV. She was also taken to the hospital.
We've also learned the name of a 19-year-old girl who was found dead on the west side last week. She's been identified as Gloria Martinez. Her body was found stuffed in a bin outside an abandoned home on San Luis Street. San Antonio police say that she was wrapped with blankets. Her body had several lacerations. Tonight at 6 o'clock, Erica Hernandez talks to a relative who says her family wants answers.
A third suspect now facing aggravated robbery and capital murder charges in the murder of Takai Charles Michael, who police say they found dead outside of a Northeast Side hookah lounge back in May. Police have identified this man, 19-year-old Joseph Robert Ortiz, as the third suspect in the murder case.
Ortiz is accused of posting Instagram photos of the victim's belongings and then bragging about the victim's death. Two other suspects have also been charged with capital murder.
He was a well-known professional boxer, killed at the age of 18. 3 years after his death, San Antonio police are still looking for who killed George Ramos. In 2019, Ramos shot multiple times while he was inside his white Ford Expedition at a Shell gas station on Culebra Road. This surveillance video, previously released by SAPD, shows a man getting into Ramos's Expedition, then getting out and driving off in a red four-door sedan. If you have any information into this case, the information could be vital. Call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP.
A teenage girl in the hospital after she was shot in the chest overnight. According to San Antonio police, that shooting happened around 2:30 in the morning on Woodstone Drive near I-10. They say that teen was with three others when someone opened fire on their vehicle. And for some reason, after the shooting, her driver pulled over and made the three teen passengers get out. They were found down the road. The girl who was shot was in critical condition. That shooter has not been caught.
Check out traffic on this Thursday. Let's go to 1604 and 151, where it looks as if there's a couple of vehicles that are pulled over. It looks like a truck and an SUV, perhaps, kind of the signal breaking up on us a little bit. But 1604 and 151, some sort of a slowdown there.
All right, did we do it today? Yes, we did. 100, the high temperature, just barely. Earlier today around 3 p.m., we hit triple digits. That's 3 degrees shy of the record and 4 degrees above average for this time of year. And it marks our 48th triple-digit day so far this year. Now we're 11 away from the all-time record in a given year. All right, looking at the weather watchers, Warren's Backyard, Del Rio, 101. Go to Schertz, 102. Canyon Lake, mixed backyard near the dam at 96 degrees. Mico, 96 as well, and 98 currently in Bernie. Lavernia, about 101. So for the most part, we're right around 100 degrees, give or take a degree. Noticeable breeze this evening at 8 o'clock, 93 degrees. Gusts out of the southeast up to 25 miles per hour, increasing humidity. And the newest drought monitor is in. We're going to take a look at that and how much rain it would take to pull us out of drought in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. We want to take a look at the number of monkeypox cases in Bexar County. SA Metro Health now reporting 13 cases. That's 2 more than yesterday. Yesterday, we told you the FDA has cleared hundreds of thousands of additional doses of vaccines to be distributed and administered in the U.S. You can read more about monkeypox, including how it spreads, right now on KSAT.com.
Months of rising costs fueling fears of a recession, but President Biden says Americans shouldn't worry. Do you agree with him? As ABC's Faith Abube explains, the president is instead touting a legislative milestone that he says will help American families.
For a second quarter in a row, the U.S. economy in a slump. After a 1.6% drop in gross domestic product last quarter, the Commerce Department today reporting that GDP dragged down again by nearly 1 percentage point in the second quarter. Some experts believe the weakening economy means the U.S. is headed for a recession, if not already in the midst of one. But the White House insists the economy is only in a transition, pulling out of a devastating pandemic.
Both Chairman Powell and many of the significant banking personnel and economists say we're not in a recession.
Republicans, though, less optimistic as inflation remains at record highs. American families paying more for everything from groceries to housing.
This has been very stressful overall because everything's going up, but my paycheck.
House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy placing the blame squarely on Democrats and President Biden.
Their failed policies have not only made inflation worse, you created it.
Wednesday, the Federal Reserve attempting for the fourth time this year to pop inflationary pressures, raising interest rates 0.75 of a percentage point in hopes of cooling consumer demand. But the move means Americans will now have to pay more to borrow. And in the meantime, President Biden celebrating a surprise deal struck between Senator Joe Manchin and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer on a spending bill, saying that it'll also help ease inflation, along with tackling climate change and reducing the federal deficit by $300 billion. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
Now a parent alert. From play tents to touch and feel books, there are hundreds of thousands of toys that your kids may be playing with that are now recalled. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz explains why, and also why certain glass baby bottles may be toxic. It's today's Recall Roundup.
Trouble in Toyland. 250,000 Kadoozy play tents and playhouses are recalled because they're fire hazards. The nylon tents don't meet federal standards. They were sold at several stores, including Target, Toys R Us, and Amazon. Parents contact Epic Everlasting Play for a refund. Baby bottle alert. Nook is recalling certain first choice glass bottles because the print may contain excessive lead, toxic especially to young kids. Only the bottles with gray and white stars are recalled. They were sold on Amazon but not intended for the U.S. Helmet danger. More than 12,000 Tony Hawk silver metallic multi-purpose helmets are recalled because they don't meet standards and wearers risk head injury. These were sold only at Walmart. Contact Sakar International. And read this. Scholastic is recalling nearly 186,000 children's books. They're the Shake, Look, and Touch books. Turns out kids can choke on the pom-poms. No need to return this one, just cut off the pom-poms and you're good to go. We have more information about all of these products on our website. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
It's still to come at 5 as the kids head back to school. There's a free after-school care program accepting applications right now. It's focused on all things art. Coming up, we hear from the co-executive director, who's a former student, about why you don't want to miss this opportunity to apply.
Plus, do you feel a cat nap coming on? It may seem harmless, but now it could be impacting your health. Up next, why you might want to fight the urge to nap and chat with your doctor instead. You're watching the news at 5. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Stefania Jimenez right here in the KSAT newsroom, and we're looking ahead to what we're working on for the news at 6. Operation Lone Star. It's become an expensive border security initiative. By some estimates, it costs Texans $2.5 million a week. A chunk of that money goes to the military and wiring along the border. But Operation Lone Star has also helped counties that aren't on the border. Our Alicia Barrera tells us more about that at 6 o'clock. Also, some changes at a Northside Migrant Resource Center that caught a community and retail center by surprise. Jesse Degollado is going to show you what's new there coming up at 6. Okay, so the Fed has hiked interest rates yet again. Inflation, as you know, is the highest it's been in decades. And many of you are asking whether we're in a recession. Well, we're going to talk with experts about what all of this means for you. Just some of what we're working on for you tonight at 6. We'll see you then.
Thank you, Stephanie. Do you nap a lot? A quick snooze can feel great, but it also could be a sign of an underlying health condition, and it could put you at higher risk of developing hypertension. Researchers have studied data from 360 people and found that those who napped during the day were 12% more likely to develop high blood pressure over time and also be at increased risk of having a stroke. So what's the issue?
If you are feeling really sleepy during the day a lot of the time, you should really talk to your doctor to try to understand why is it that you're not feeling rested after a night's sleep.
If you feel like you're not getting a full night's rest, try keeping your bedroom dark, quiet, and cool. Go to sleep at a regular bedtime, avoid caffeine in the afternoon, and stay off your phone before bed. That can help.
Turning now to an offer for local students, a tuition-free after-school program accepting new student applications just in time for the start of the new school year. It's called KSAT. It gives students a space to explore their creative sides through art, film, photography, and theater.
Students will start very shy or introverted with their little sketchbook, and then next thing you know, they're building forts in the studio and performing guerrilla theater in the parking lot.
The co-executive director, Nicole Amory, who was enrolled in KSAT's program when she was 15, says kids start learning basics like painting and drawing before advancing to film and photography. Applications being accepted until mid-August. It's for middle school and high school students throughout Bexar County. You can learn more at KSAT.org.
Taking a look outside with live cam, awfully brown out there. Makes you think maybe it's time to zero-scape.
Yeah. Or maybe you don't have a choice to zero-scape at this point. Maybe it's zero-scaping for you, yeah.
Yeah, Mother Nature's zero-scaping for you, taking care of that work. I spent a lot of time hand watering lately. That's the way to do it. Only way I can keep my plants alive. Stray afternoon showers, a couple of them today. I think a slightly better chance tomorrow. High temperatures remaining near 100, which is a little above average for this time of year, but not in record-challenging territory. Yes, it's still hot. It's just luckily not the intense heat we had previously in July and even in parts of June. Okay, let's take a look at the radar. Most of the rain today around Houston. Houston cashing in. Remember, they need the rain as well, so at least somebody's getting some downpours, especially downtown Houston and the west side. You get north of Hallettsville, near Schulenburg, Flatonia, Moulton, a few little isolated pop-up showers and downpours, and even one far west of Gonzales, but this is it, and it's very limited in terms of its coverage. Where you see the blues and greens on the screen here, those are the Doppler radar estimated totals, and it basically just indicates where we've actually had rain today, and the coverage is extremely limited. But there's still another couple of hours where a few more showers could pop up. Tomorrow, I think we'll have better conditions, a little bit more moisture in the atmosphere, deeper moisture, just enough instability to pop a few more showers. So a 20% chance tomorrow. I don't think there's a chance at all through the weekend. Then Monday and Tuesday, we're back to only a 10% chance. So don't really anticipate any rain. Anticipate to stay dry. If you're one of the lucky few tomorrow, then it's a rarity. As for our drought monitor, now 97% of Texas is considered in drought. And around here, we are in the worst category, especially southern Bexar County, northwestern Bexar County. That's that darkest color, the exceptional drought. Everybody else around us in the extreme drought category. So anyway you cut it, really not a good situation. But that, of course, begs the question, how much rain would we actually need to pull us out of the drought? And this is information from NOAA. And if you look at this climate zone here, which includes San Antonio and even Hondo, Castroville, Gonzales, Floresville, locations east of town, it would take about 22.5 inches of rain from now through October to pull us out of drought. The only way we can pull that off really is with some tropical systems moving overhead, hurricane, tropical storm. And right now the tropics are very, very quiet. You go west of town, it would take 19.12 inches to pull them out of drought. And farther south, about 16.4 inches is what it would take. And that's now through October. So you look at the odds, less than 2% chance of us actually pulling that off. Again, it would mainly take one, maybe two tropical systems or more to slide on through. 100 right now, dew point is 63, 101 Abilene and Dallas, Del Rio 101, Junction now at 99. 99 in Hondo. We're right around that 100-degree mark everywhere. Port SA 99 and Bulverde currently at 95. Tomorrow we'll start the day at 78 at 7 a.m. A little bit of cloud cover early, then a lot of sunshine at noon, right near 90 degrees at that point. We get into the afternoon, 1, 2 o'clock, a 10% chance. By 3 to 6 p.m. tomorrow, that 20% chance. So a few highly isolated pop-up quick downpours here and there tomorrow. Unfortunately, not enough to even put a dent in the drought conditions that we have. And 99 is what we're expecting for the high temperature tomorrow. but right near 100 is the best way to put it. Give or take a degree or so, right around 100 degrees. And that's where we're going to stay all the way through the weekend, right around triple digits and even into next week. Those rain chances, not great, just up to 10% by Monday and Tuesday. You know what? I was looking at the observations in Oxnard, California. 71 degrees right now.
I know.
What we would do for 71 at night.
Exactly.
Here in San Antonio.
Speaking of Oxnard, California, let's go there now. Greg Simmons joins us from the lovely 71 degrees of Oxnard, as Adam just told us. Greg, if there's a big question for the Cowboys this camp, it's who's going to step up and replace Amari Cooper?
Yeah, Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup, considering the fact he's probably going to miss up to 4 games. And when we come back, could there be more than one rookie starter this year for the Dallas Cowboys? And the simple answer is yes. We'll tell you who that is. And also, we come back, everybody's talking about a slimmer, trimmer Mike McCarthy coming up.
Camping with KSAT, powered by Davis Law Firm.
And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome live to the Dallas Cowboys training camp here in Oxnard, California. Ideal weather conditions for training camp today, and one of the players we'll be keeping an eye on early in camp has got to be third-round draft pick Jalen Tolbert, the wide receiver out of South Alabama. Already has made a name for himself in OTAs and minicamp and started off strong here in camp. With the injury to Michael Gallup, who's now out their active roster for at least the first 4 weeks of the season as he recovers from ACL surgery. Tolbert has already been penciled in as a number 2 starter at wide receiver behind CeeDee Lamb. And the one thing Tolbert doesn't lack is confidence.
I think I can play, all spots, wherever I moved at, and I think that's a big help, along with the other guys beside me, and just being able to put people in situations where they shouldn't be guarding certain players on this side of the field or at this position on the field, and so I think that's a big part of my game.
All right, in case you haven't noticed, Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy has reported to training camp looking slimmer and trimmer. He admits that he hasn't done a good job of keeping under control his weight, but now that has changed, and he shared his secret with some of us who could use advice in that field.
Frankly, thank you. Number one, it's the basics. I'm not real comfortable talking about myself, particularly my waistline, but no, I think, number one, I've had some people help me. I think I need to acknowledge that. Gentleman, friend, Jim Roberts and Darren Pierce. I think these guys have, as far as, working out, nutrition and things like that, but really just getting, sticking to the basics. I haven't done a great job, with the stress of this job over the years. And I think it, just like anything, it's about routine, regularity, but it just really comes down to the basics.
And one of the ways McCarthy has maintained his weight is through boxing exercise, where he says he thinks of us in the media while he's doing it, thanking us for the motivation. Take that. All right, coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll hear from star quarterback Dak Prescott for the first time in training camp. Got that for you in just a few minutes. Live from Oxnard, Greg Simmons, KSAT 12 Sports.
All right, rolling with the punches, Greg. Thank you.
Get motivation where you can.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
A little bit on the radar screen, but you have to look really closely. If you don't have your glasses on, you might not even be able to see it. Tomorrow, a slightly better chance of a few more popping up even closer to San Antonio. 102 in Del Rio tomorrow. Kerrville 98, 99 Canyon Lake, Cotulla up to about 103 in the afternoon. Elmendorf 100 and Stone Oak 99. That's tomorrow afternoon. And really, temperatures are going to just coast, stay the same, within a degree or so through the weekend and even into next week.
99. Nice.
Cool front. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 6.